All right, y'all, we're taking a look at this boudoir photography business. Gonna see if it has BSS with its main Google search. We're back in the GBC universe where we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More on that in the pinned video, home video, somewhere around here. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we got our FSIC in white here. Highest intent people on the left. It's people using social search, Google search, searching for boudoir photo shoot in their city right now, and we focus on them with the videos we make here about BSS, closest to the money, highest conversion rate. And way over on the right is the lowest intent people. They ain't searching for boudoir photo shoot in their city right now, and most of them don't even know what the heck boudoir is. But we reach them through interruption ads through Facebook, Instagram. Talk about these things over on our talk about BLCS over on our sister channel, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor. And currently we only work with boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand a month in boudoir Facebook ads. So BSS, it's boudoir search sameness. So when a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. And when this occurs, 0 slots, trash, our business will be dying pretty fast. 0 slots page 1 means we're only on page 2 or deeper, and we already know approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. So from page 2, 80% of approximately 80% of searches are page 1 and done searches. That means if we're on page 2 or deeper, we're invisible to approximately 80% of the market, aka the bulk of the market, bulk of the buyers. Once on Google, no bueno either, because we're looking the same as everyone else. There's 10 organic slots page 1 on Google. So if it's us, 10 boudoir photographers total, we're one of them. 9 other peeps got 1 link on Google, and guess what? Guess what a buyer's doing? Well, guess what approximately 80% of boudoir buyers are doing? They're just clicking every link down page 1, open everyone's website, filling out everyone's contact form, getting price quotes, price shop and price compare, and driving margins to 0, negotiating, all that stuff. Never even hitting page 2. So, we're kind of constrained there with the number of competitors we'll actually be compared against. And 0, 1 slots on page 1 of Google is actually not normal. It's a symptom of 2 deeper root causes. So yes, it's common. Yes, it's accepted. But to have such few slots page 1 on Google, not normal. It means something's seriously broken. Those 2 deeper root causes are, number 1, market saturation. Yeah, basically everyone knows this. This is when more and more boudoir photographers enter the marketplace over time. And yeah, it's because peeps get new gear, new iPhone, new camera over time. They throw up their Google My Business profile. And when they do that, they're also throwing up a website saying they offer boudoir, competing to now rank on page 1 Google search. They're posting mom groups saying they now offer boudoir, and on and on. So more sellers for the same number of buyers makes it harder for every single seller, aka every boudoir photographer. Now, this happened a big way during COVID. A lot of people lost their jobs, but everyone had to still, earn money. So people actually still, thrust in the market to become a boudoir photographer. Now, number 2, the false belief of page 1 equality. This is a big one. This one, boudoir photographers kind of automatically believe that, each and every boudoir photographer gets at least 0, 1 slots page 1 on Google. And as a result, maybe they're slot 9 on page 1. Then some market saturation happened, then there's slot 1 on page 2. Like, some other peeps entered the market, their website's ranked above me. That's fine. But let's, hopefully they delete their websites and Google stops indexing them so then I can come back onto page 1. But no, this, passive, hopefully it happens for me. No, 100% incorrect. I know for a fact that Google will actually give us as many page 1 slots on Google as we want to put in the effort to acquire. And I know that because I went from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 Google search in only 10 days with this new methodology we developed. Finally, a boudoir photographer with BSS is a disappearing boudoir photographer. So if we got 0 slots on page 1, we're invisible to approximately 20% of peeps who view page 2 and deeper. Yep, we're definitely disappearing. If we got 1 slot on page 1, we're basically invisible, same as everyone else. Being compared against everyone else, margins collapsing. and going to happen more and more as AI takes more people's jobs. So disappearing boudoir photographer is like the warning light, like the warning symbol of, if we are disappearing boudoir photographer with BSS, that means our boudoir photography business itself is on the path to disappearing. But thankfully, we discovered the solution. We discovered that BSS is actually treated with social search saturation, aka S cubed methodology. And it works exactly like it says, social search saturation. We saturate social search with the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords, so we show up there when people search them. And the way this works, this is kind of like, it's basically like down on the Andes Mountains in South America. Think about the backside, the eastern side. When it snows up there, eventually the snow melts and melts into small streams, small rivers. Eventually all that snow melts, runs off the mountains, flows into the Amazon River. The Amazon River is page 1 of Google search. That is the Amazon River. And so what's amazing about this is it all starts with the snow up at the top of the Andes Mountains. And so the snow up at the top of the Andes Mountains is S-cubed methodology. That's how we get the snow there. Everything flows downstream from that. And the one thing I like about S-cubed methodology is the only thing I've seen that allows boudoir photographers to successfully, actually have a chance to fight out back against market saturation in a relatively quick time frame. Still have a chance to actually grow the business, even as more boudoir photographers enter the market. The only other thing I've seen that actually enables that is having a large, well-known brand. But those take 5 to 10 years to acquire. We ain't got 5 to 10 years anymore. AI is taking people's jobs. We need to start dominating now. So S-Cube's methodology is the only thing I've seen that allows boudoir photographers to do that. And by my estimates, I believe it actually enables a boudoir photographer to become a large, well-known brand in their area, approximately 8x faster than normal methods, because we're basically showing up on so many different surfaces, so much more frequency, become well-known so much faster. So that's where my approximately 8x estimation comes in. All right, now an example. Let's say, so we're going to say right now, we are in Sacramento, California, and there's 1 million boudoir photographers there total. We're one of them. Everyone's got their websites saying they shoot boudoir, and everyone's trying to rank page 1 on Google. It's like, man, this place is insanely competitive. We don't have time to build a brand. We gotta, basically we gotta start getting results ASAP, as fast as possible here, AFAP. And so we're like, all right, S-cube methodology is the only thing that can help out here. We gotta crank this thing up to the max. So let's say we're able to rank for the first 300 slots, social search for all the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords in our city. And let's say that flows over onto Google, or we take the first 300 organic slots, and it's 10 organic slots per page on Google. So we're taking up basically the first 30 pages. And so people don't have to scroll like slot 301 to find any of our competitors, or basically go to page 31 on Google. And so in this scenario, where we're the first 300 slots, basically anywhere searches online, whose boudoir photography business will be growing in this situation? Most likely ours. Whose boudoir photography business will be shrinking / disappearing? Most likely all of our 999,999 competitors, because buyers can't even find them. We're taking up all these slots. So this is an example kind of this is the ultra most extreme case of what could happen utilizing S-cube methodology, but it's good to understand it. Now, one street with S-cube methodology, we have page 1 visibility. Initial benefit, yeah, we get more slots page 1 on Google. A lot of boudoir photographers actually like this next initial benefit, which is every new slot we get page 1 on Google, actually kicking a competing boudoir photographer off page 1, effectively making them invisible. Because now they're on page 2 or deeper, and guess what? We already know approximately 80% of Google searches never ever even hit page 2. So a lot of boudoir photographers actually like that. We can control how many of our competitors are invisible. Now, page 1 visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us, BSV. This is where we got the GBC Universe recommended minimum, 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 of Google. That's the number that's recommended because Fabian's got 1 slot. All right, we're dominating them because we got 3. Fabian, maybe they're ultra rare case, somebody else has 2 slots. Yeah, well, our 3 slots still dominate them. So GBC recommend minimum 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search. And a boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible boudoir photographer, a VBP. So got our micro universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality. It's fine, we now have a solution, S cubed methodology. We achieve page 1 visibility and we become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. All right, now my results utilizing S cubed methodology for myself. I wanted to rank and dominate Google page 1 for this keyword, BLCS boudoir. So I used S cubed methodology. Let's see my results. So let's see, organic slot 1, Instagram, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. And slot 10, me. Now, I'm from 0 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search, to 9 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search in only 10 days, purely utilizing S cubed methodology. Now we're going to check out, we're going to see if this boudoir photography business has BSS, kind of the basis for all this stuff. So let's see. So we got to do a search, boudoir photography Las Vegas. All right. All right, so we got boudoir photographer Las Vegas, Nevada. So let's see. Nope, 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 nope. Oh, there we go. All right, we got 1. 1 out of 10. Nice. All right, we got 1 out of 10. So we do have BSS, boudoir search sameness, because we got 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google search for high intent keywords here. And ideally, we would want to get to our GBC minimum of 3 out of 10, because then we can basically guarantee we're not a disappearing boudoir photographer. At minimum, we're treading water, or we could actually be growing. So we do want to get to 3 out of 10. So if you're a disappearing boudoir photographer and you've done your local search for the highest 10 buyer keywords in local and city, and either you got BSS for 1 or both of them, or you're not hitting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 on Google, and you've accepted that the false belief of page 1 equality is exactly that, a false belief, and Google will actually give us as many page 1 slots as we want to put in the effort to acquire. And you're liking the initial benefits of utilizing S cubed methodology, namely, more slots page 1 on Google, and the second initial benefit, which is kicking out our competitors from page 1 of Google, making them disappearing boudoir photographers. And you also understand the market saturation, the 2 prongs of that. Yeah, new iPhones, new gear, more boudoir photographers over time. It's unstoppable, cannot stop. But yeah, you get that. But you're also looking ahead, and you're saying, man, AI is going to be already taking people's jobs. It's going to be taking more and more people's jobs over time. And so you're like, okay, there's going to be actually kind of more and more people pushed into becoming boudoir photographers by AI taking people's jobs. And guess what? Everyone's got a smartphone with a great camera. So this will be on top of people upgrading their gear, becoming boudoir photographers. They'll be forced to. Same as back in like COVID. So you see now you're like, all right, S cubed methodology, this can actually fortify my position on page 1, like by putting so many links on page 1 that we even got backup links on page 1 that Google ain't ranked because we took too many slots, which means these new boudoir photographers coming in because of AI taking their job, they have no chance to even rank on page 1. Kind of like building up the levees in Nolens, Louisiana to keep the ocean out because the ocean's below sea level. So you're seeing, okay, S cubed methodology, kind of a future benefit is basically fortifying current position to the kind of standard peeps that'll be coming through as they upgrade their gear, and the other peeps who are new boudoir photographers, but they got laid off, so they needed to find some way to increase their income. And so you're liking that kind of future benefit. You also understand the 2 other future benefits, which is as we successfully execute S cubed methodology every single day, day in, day out, what we're actually getting is we're building up these invisible thematic keyword columns around our brand. It's kind of like, the columns at the Parthenon in Athens, Greece, or like the hub and spoke, kind of like bicycle wheel, the hub in the middle and all the spokes coming out. That's the hub in the middle is our brand, our business name, our website, our social handles. We're building up this kind of back-end AI mindshare that our brand is connected to all is entrenched, connected with all these thematic keyword columns, which gives us the future increased probability, the future benefit of higher chance of being recommended right here in the AI overview in the premier prime real estate up on the top of search. And I mean, this is amazing. And can't even get this AI overview by paying for an ad. It's all about kind of, you know, keyword frequency, relevance, age, um, authority, all things like that. Kind of every day we build these invisible thematic keyword columns attached to our business name. Our probability of being recommended AI overview increases. Same way as being recommended in AI search. It's the same exact thing. ChatGPT search, Claude, Perplexity, Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini, same exact process. And so if peeps are, peeps searching for boudoir photographer through AI search, dude, it's more and more every day. I mean, right now, Google standard search is like 90% of global search, but dude, AI search is more and more every single day, 100%. And last time I did a search for boudoir photographers in the city, it was with ChatGPT, and it recommended me 3. And I actually then went like Google standard search to that city, and I would see, okay, how many boudoir photographers are actually in the city, like standard search. And dude, there was like 60. I was like, what? We got to find a way. We got to get one of these 3 slots in, AI search with these AI search apps. And so you like those 2 future benefits. You also understand my plan is to only work with 1 boudoir photographer per city. My current plan is to work with only 1 boudoir photographer per city. So you're seeing that, okay, you've decided to be the first mover because, becoming the first mover, you can actually kick out your competitors and actually, build a massive gap between you and all your competitors now and the future competitors coming from AI taking people's jobs. Like this massive AI backend mindshare gap with all these thematic keyword columns that we'll be focusing on. And you also understand the reverse, where if one of your competitors actually, jumps out with me first, well, then you're going to be locked out from using our S-cubes methodology. And you're actually going to have to go rederive it, derive it the first time for yourself. You'll never actually know if you've derived it correctly because we've perfected this. And then you're going to have to equal our execution every single day. But me and your competitor, would have already been working on it for a ton, successfully executing every day. So we'd already start with a massive gap ahead of you. So with you executing equally to us every single day, you would maintain that gap. So you'd have to actually double or triple our execution every single day to like be pulling back that thematic keyword mindshare from the AI systems and their backend brain from me and your competitor towards you. And who's got 80 hours to do all this? Plus, you won't be 100% confident you've derived it correctly anyway, so probably hard to even put in the effort initially to execute it. So you realize all that, and you're like, screw that. And you're like, screw that. I don't want to deal with that. I'd rather be the first one to actually, rather be the first one to, in my city, to block out all the competitors. And so if that's you, shoot me a DM. And yeah, shoot me a DM when I open up for new patient intake. The hospital opens up again, because right now, new patient intake is closed. But when I do open up the slots for new patient intake, then yeah, shoot me a DM, and we'll see if you qualify to use our S-cubed methodology.